Let's start. Good morning, September top 10 or 15 or 17, however many of you there are in here now. I'm really excited to get this month started because, first of all, it's fall. It's like 65 degrees outside. It feels amazing. The windows are open. When I finish this, I'm going to I'm recording this. I don't really want to say this and then have somebody come back and watch it, but whatever. When I'm finished with this, I'm going to put a bra on and go take a walk, and it's going to be really great. Reagan? No. We live in this house. It's like, so our house is 4 bedrooms, but the living area is really big and open. And there are no doors. I'm sitting facing the kitchen. The dining room is behind me. There's a window, like a big open area right here. Here's our living room. There's the entryway over there. The playroom is like a sunroom. It's just a big open doorway, and you go in there. Anyway, there are no restrictions for Reagan. That's what she sees. She can go anywhere. Okay, new month, new day, new goals. I've kind of talked about my goals consistently. I do need to write them down and post them so that the rest of the team knows to write your goals. You guys have done a really good job of that. If you haven't written your goals down already, get them on paper and please keep them in front of you. I'm going to start with our prayer and devotion, and then I do have business stuff that I want to go over. I wanted to, in case anybody didn't get to, I was walking and talking to you guys yesterday, and I left a lot of voice messages, and I know it's hard to catch up in a group chat, especially if you're at work and you can't actually listen to the messages, and then all these replies come afterwards. So basically what I was saying yesterday is the top 10, this is an elite group of people. You guys, I don't care who enrolled you or what rank you are a leader by taking the initiative to be part of this group. It's not a push group. It's not a challenge group. I'm not committing to challenging you to something different every single day because that's too much for me. And I know that that's going to sound like an excuse to me. It's just being really honest with you guys. It's what I can do. And I fear commitment sometimes because I fear that I'll fail, and I don't like to fail. I don't even like to attempt something unless I know I can be the best at it, and that is not necessarily a good thing. It just is the way it is. So if something seems like I'm not going to succeed at it, then I just don't do it. And so commitment scares me for that reason, but what I am committing to you is to work with you. Well, don't put stuff in your mouth, Reagan. What I am committing is to work with you every single day. Quit. To work with you every single day. It might be in the morning. It might be in the evening. I'm not committing to a consistent time every day. I'm just committing to being here and working with you every day. Dang it. Don't put stuff in your mouth. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Hadley was never a kid that put anything in her mouth. Reagan will find every single thing in the house and put it in her mouth. That's why I never get anything done. So what I am committing is to be here every single day. I promise I'm praying for you every day. I promise to share those prayers with you every day and to talk to you and touch base with you every day. It's just not going to be like, okay, today, here's your challenge, here's your challenge. The point is to be consistent with your business, and we're going to do it together, and that's what's going to keep us fueled and keep us going. So with that being said, I sent you guys a picture of what I've written out for us to cover today, devotion-wise and prayer-wise. Today, I just wanted it to be really simple. And I just am so thankful to God today for you guys. And sometimes I feel like the month just ended, and I don't know if it ended where you guys wanted it to. I feel like in this kind of business, it's never good enough, right? Like we always want more. So today, I just want you to remember that you don't have to know how this is going to work out. You just have to trust that it will. We pray as if it all depends on God, and then we work as if it all depends on us. Do you want that? And so that's what I wrote that we have a roof over our heads, we have food in our bellies, we have clothes on our backs, and we're surrounded by family. Thank you. Like, it's just really simple, acknowledging God's provisions for us and trusting that he's got it all covered, right? The reading that I did today that I thought was really great was, now here I'm going to start like kind of bouncing all over the place, because what I woke up thinking about was something that Ashley shared with us last month. It was right around the time that in this group, a lot of us started having prayer requests for things. And Ashley reminded us that when God's got something really amazing planned for you, the devil works that much harder against you. And so I kind of wanted to take a proactive approach to that this month. And I wanted to remind you guys, and those of you that are new, wanted to let you know that this is a really amazing group. It's an amazing group of people. It's even better now that we have some new faces. And stop chewing on that. And because of that, we are going to be attacked, okay? And there are going to be things that you are going to derail us, or that the devil will try to use to derail us. And if we can just be prepared for that, then we'll be a lot better off. So, excuse me. So please just keep that in mind. Amazing things are going to come from this group. And because of that, the devil is going to try to throw some obstacles in your way. And if you can just know that and be prepared, we can rise above and move past them that much quicker. So the first reading that I read this morning was from Psalm 138, it's 7 and 8. It says, "Though I walk in the midst of trouble, you preserve my life. You stretch out your hand against the anger of my foes. With your right hand you save me. The Lord will vindicate me. Your love, Lord, endures forever. Do not abandon the works of your hands." So this kind of gets into, I wrote a little bit of the devotion that I read this morning too, because I say this all the time. Like, I never pick up my Bible and think, okay, how is this going to work for my business? But because I have gotten to know you guys better and I kind of know what's going on in some of your lives, I feel like this was really appropriate, especially at the start of the month. So though I walk in the midst of trouble, like, we know we've got life swirling all around us, right? But we wake up every day. Like, God preserves our life every day, and we keep going every day. And this is part of what I was saying. Like, you've just got to know and got to trust, and you've got to acknowledge that God's won the battle already. Then there's a reading in Ephesians I wanted to share too. But first, we must accept that we are a block of wood and allow the artist, being God, to cut, shape, and sand us where he will. This means viewing our circumstances, both pleasant and unpleasant, as God's tools that shape us. He forms us, one part at a time, into the beautiful creature he envisioned in our ungainly lump of wood. So I know that some of us are going through not so fun times, but remember that the bigger the blessing that is waiting for us, the bigger the obstacle in front of it. So use that to hold on to. And also, it's part of God's plan for us to shape us into the person that he wants us to be. So, hold on to the joy. That doesn't mean that we're always happy through it, but we know it. We have joy because we know that we have faith in God, and he's using all of those things to work for our good. Then in Ephesians 2, verses 8 through 10, it says, "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." So sometimes people read this scripture and it seems a little contradicting. Like, we're saved by grace, not by works. And then he turns around and says, but we were created to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us. But what this means is, I feel like this verse takes a lot of pressure off of us as Christians. We're saved by the grace of God. That's a gift that we don't deserve, but we've been given, and we just accept it. So your works are not what saves you. Your works are what are expected of you as someone who is saved. So I know in my life, I'm just going to speak for myself, I try to be worthy of that gift. And I fall short every time, because it's not something we ever will deserve. And so I feel like that when I remember this verse, it helps me take away comparison, because I'll compare myself to someone who's like donating tons of money or doing all this stuff, and I'm like, man, I haven't done any of that, or I haven't done nearly as much of that. And God has put works in front of us to do, and it's expected that we do them. And to me, that's this opportunity. This has been placed in my life, and it is expected that I make the most of it. Otherwise, it's going to waste, right? So, but I'm not doing this to be worthy, and I'm not doing this to be better than anyone else. I'm doing it because it's the path that God has put me on, and this is what he's called me to do. So, that's the devotion part of things that I had for you, or for me. I didn't do it for you. I wrote it for myself, and I just shared it with you. Someone in the group mentioned yesterday that they were struggling in their prayer life. So one thing that when I was thinking this morning, I thought I'd share with you, when I do my evening prayers, my bedtime prayers, I follow the ACTS prayer model, ACTS. A is, what is it, like admonishments or something like that. I like to think of it as acknowledgement. Like, the first part of my prayer is like saying who God is. God, you are the healer. You are the comforter. You are our protector. Whatever like worries I have on my heart is normally like the identity that I give to God, because he encompasses all of those things. So you're acknowledging who God is. He is our Father. He is all of those things. The C is confession. So you just come before him and you say, like, you know, I wasn't very nice to this person today, or I held on to bitterness today, or you know, whatever that might be for you. The T is thanksgiving. And so for me, that kind of brings that acknowledgement back. Thank you for the peace that you bring. What? I told you I'd be zooming. Thank you for what we know he is in our lives. You know, thank you for answering the prayers that you answered yesterday. Thank you for our family, our friends, all those things. And then S is supplication. S is what you're asking God for. Now, a lot of times, hang on, Megan. She's getting her top 2 teeth, so we have like Snotapalooza over here. A lot of times our prayers end up being only supplication, right? Like, please build my business. Please help me sign new customers. Please help me do this. Please help me do that. And that's okay, because we're also told to, even though God knows our hearts and he knows what's on our hearts, he still wants us to come to him. And so yesterday, I promise I'm almost done. I'm not a preacher. I'm just a rambler. Yesterday when I read out of, I don't remember what it was. I just remember that the scenario was, there's like this kingdom and this kingdom, and this kingdom is being really mean to this kingdom, and this kingdom is saying our gods are the best and we're going to win, and this kingdom is being fearful of this kingdom, and this kingdom is told to pray. So this kingdom prays to God and says, this kingdom has done this, this, and this. Help us, hear us, see us. And God comes back and says, because you prayed, I've already taken care of it. And without them having to lift a finger, God destroys this country, like this kingdom, whatever. That's kind of the scenario. But the key word is because you prayed. So God knew in that scenario what was going on, but he wants us to depend on him. So in that supplication, while we don't want our prayers to always be, give me this, help me do this, me, God still does want us to narrow in on those desires of our hearts and to give them to him. So anyway, if you're struggling in your prayer life, that's an easy model that sometimes I go by. Okay. Sorry for rambling. Are you sleepy? We're going to flip it over to business now. My nose gets so stopped up in the mornings. Plus, we're all getting over this cold. Okay. I wanted to talk about the steps to success because we're in the middle of writing our goals if you haven't already written them. And we all know what our steps to success are. And if not, I will review them right now. So your steps to success are to get 4 loyal customers and 3 distributors each month. And then we're training those 3 distributors to get 4 loyal customers and 3 distributors. And you think, okay, that's 7 people, right? 4 loyal customers and 3 distributors. 4 plus 3 is 7. I need my goal to be to sign 7 people. At the bare minimum, my goal should be to sign 7 people each month. And you think, I don't know, 7 people to get these products or to join this business. And here's how you're going to do it. I mentioned yesterday that my rule of thumb is to message at least 5 new people every day. And those 5 new people can be people that I just feel like I've built a relationship with on social media, and I finally ask them, hey, I've got a really amazing opportunity. Would you be interested in hearing about making some extra money? Or, I noticed that you post a lot about being tired, and I saw that your son has a cold right now and is probably going to get the rest of your family. I've got this really awesome thing called greens. My whole family takes it. It keeps us all healthy. Would you be interested in hearing more? And I can share my discount with you. Those are just examples of what you would send. Here, not the book. Here, try this one. So I try to message at least 5 people a day. Now, it used to be that I would run through a 100s list every day, meaning I sent out 100 messages a day. Sometimes that gets overwhelming to me. No. That is an overwhelming goal for me right now. I'm not there. So 5 people a day keeps it pretty easy, pretty simple. I'm still building. You want to build more, you want to build faster, you message more than 5 people a day. So whether they enroll, whether they ignore you, whether they ever talk to you again, that is a seed that is planted. And if you're planting those 5 seeds a day, then at the end of the month, there are 30 days in September, at the end of the month, you have 150 new contacts, right? New leads. Even if they've not responded to you, that is a seed that is planted. Now, on top of those 5 new messages that you send out daily, I want you to be following up with 5 people a day. These can be leads from 2 days ago or 2 years ago. You find 5 people to follow up with, and you just touch base with them. Hey, how's it going? If it's a really old lead, you say, I know we talked a long time ago about this, and you were on my mind this morning, and I was thinking about you and praying for you and wanted to check in and see how you're doing. I know we've gone back and forth on this a lot. What are your thoughts on it now? Have you thought any more about it? I know you were really busy then. Try to look back in those conversations when you're following up. I look back and I remember some people say, I can't right now. My mom is sick and I'm taking care of her. So when I follow up, even if it's been months since I've talked to them, I've said, hey, I know you were really busy taking care of your mom. How's she doing? I know that you felt like you were super tied up with that before. What are things looking like now? So if you're following up with 5 people a day, then that's another 150 messages that you've sent in the month. And so when you add those up, that's a total of 300 people that you've talked to in the month of September. Now, out of those 300, don't you feel like it would be pretty simple to get 4 customers and 3 distributors? So that's 300 leads in a month, and that sounds like a lot, but it's really only messaging 5 new people a day and following up with 5 people a day. So in your whole day, in all of your 24 hours, or even all of your 12 hours that you're awake, or 16 hours that you're awake, or whatever, it's only 10 messages. 10 simple messages, checking in and being thoughtful with people, saying, hey, I was just thinking about you. What's up? Like, what's going on over there? And waiting for those cues to blitz. Planting seeds, always planting seeds. Again, they are not all going to harvest right now. You know, they're not, you're going to get ignored. You're going to get told no. Maybe multiple days in a row, all of the 5 to 10 messages you send out are all no's. That's okay. Because come November, December, January, February, those are going to turn into yeses. So that's just something that I go by. I think it's an easy way to build 300 new leads in a month. And out of that, you should be able to complete your steps to success. The other thing that, Reagan, it's not your turn to talk. You've got hair on your face. Stop. You've got hair on you. I'm trying to get it all off. Okay. The other thing, and I have not finished this book yet because I read a little and then get busy doing something else. But it is a really easy book to do that with. Like, it's not one, you know, sometimes books you feel like you read them for a couple of weeks, and then you get sidetracked, and then it's like a month later and you're like, crap, now I have to start all over because I'm going to be lost. This is not a book like that. But I want, if you haven't gotten it already, please get this book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins. It's cheap. I think I paid $12 for this paperback copy. Some of you have like the Kindle app. You can get it on there. But it's amazing, and it's one. Sorry. It's one that I can read, I can highlight, I can take notes in it, and then I can, when I have 5 minutes, I can read a couple of pages and then put it down. So it's not like super commitment, you know. Okay. I'm gonna, if anyone wants to unmute, if you have questions or comments, please feel free to do so. Reagan is ready for a nap, so I'm gonna be wrapping this up, and I'll convert it to YouTube and I'll post it in that group chat. Just one more reminder, like we've had, you know, prayer requests mentioned and all that, and I said it in the voice message yesterday, but you know, this is a safe place, and I love that the friendships that are built here. I love the ideas that you guys bounce off of each other. The ideas I want us to take back to our teams and grow that way. Some of you that are newer to this group, the game plan that was rolled out from Mark and Pam and Mike is really good in theory. I just couldn't sit for 5 hours and be on my phone consistently, and so this way of a top 10 worked better. I can commit to this and not let anybody down this way, so that's why we did it this way. I'm gonna let you guys talk if you have anything, and then I'll post. If not, we can all just head off and I'll post this in the group. This is what she does. She sings herself to sleep. It's just, it's great for her. Not so much during the Zoom. Okay. Well, if you guys don't have anything, then I'll just stop this recording.